it.
Okay, Bob D, let's talk about your own politics. What is in it for you?
Nothing.
All this News Central today, channels tomorrow, Arise tomorrow, some of our colleagues will say, what is Bob D looking for?
So this one, well, as faith may have it, some people got into it. They never told anybody when they were getting 100% on their deposit. When the gold was good, nobody reported to EFCC that this was quite suspicious. But when the bubble busted, EFCC was dragged into it. Yes, we have eagle eye, but our eagle eye will only capture what is within the range of our intelligence.
My election is the election judgment delivered by that evil judge, Iheme Jr. Justice Iheme is an evil judge. It never happened, and she knows what she did. She wanted to go to the Supreme Court. So she wanted to use me to curry favor from the hand of politicians. That was why her name was under. That means her name was in the reserve list. So they brought down senior judges above her and elevated her so she can be made to go to the Supreme Court.
My mom closed down her shop. I did a video about it, but they never did it for me. My mom closed her shop in Lagos Island because Pastor told her that that's where they're not letting her have children. Like, you are not having children because of the people there. And she was, if she lives there, she will get pregnant.
If you are new here, welcome. On this channel, I go out of my way on a daily basis to bring you the most informative and the most controversial moments on Nigerian television. Let's get right after it. Otumba Dele Momodu was on a rise to essentially call to question the logic behind the defection of the PDP members who recently left the party for the APC. Everything seemed to be going according to plans for the veteran journalist, until his own colleague, Reuben Abati, asked him one of the most uncomfortable questions anyone could ask a journalist. Watch.
I grew up substantially on the campus of the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. And we were well taught about logic. In fact, logic was compulsory at the time. I don't know if it is still compulsory today. Students must take logic. So when I listen...
It's a bit difficult. So
yes, it is difficult, but it is absolutely...
One of my toughest courses.
Yes, necessary to study logic. When I listen to people and I cannot find logic in what they are saying, it worries me. Yesterday I was watching you as you were interviewing our Oga, because it's still our Oga, former governor Okowa. He was struggling. He was struggling to defend a political harakiri. There is nothing wrong. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a Democrat. I believe in the freedom of speech, freedom of association, and even freedom of movement. So you can move to wherever you like, but you must be able to defend your action. When people say, PDP is not doing well, what else does Dr. Okowa want? You've been secretary to government, you've been senator, you've been governor for 8 years. The only way to go is up, either president or VP. And they gave you an opportunity to be a running mate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. What did you deliver? You are from the South. What did you deliver? And so that's why I said he was struggling. Going to APC was an opportunistic move. Let's call a spade a spade. Why the hurry? Tinubu has not even done half time.
But he says Atiku himself will soon join APC. We'll be here.
Let me tell you something. I'm not here speaking for Atiku. Okay? The Atiku that I know is not a desperate politician. In fact, his description is that of a consummate Democrat. The politics we play today is despicable. It's a politics of desperation. Oh, I saw people in Delta dancing. Now we've joined the mainstream. We want to bring the goodies to our people. Which goodies have you brought to your people in about 20 years? A lot of we're foundation members of PDP. Now we are connecting, it's like connecting electricity to the national grid. You know, what have you brought?
No, he has not answered
So that, but to say Atiku is going to APC, that one is impossible. That one I can guarantee you.
Okay, Bob D.
Yes.
Ambassador Magum.
Yes.
Is now saying they will go to court. They have appointed caretaker committee for Delta. The same party. They will call a NEC meeting, National Working Committee meeting. The same party that cannot address the wicked question.
No, let me tell you something.
The same party that cannot enforce discipline.
No, it's all a melodrama. I'm not going to address Ambassador Damagum because I had my own personal opinion of what the NWC of PDP was up to. You see, the beauty of people like us is that I'm a part-time politician. I have my job. At Ovation, I'm a reporter. And that is what is feeding me. I've never lived on politics. So I can address issues very clearly and dispassionately. Ambassador Damagum, if he and some of his members were very patriotic about Nigeria, would have done the right things by sacking Wike. If they had made it possible for the NEC to sit... Oh, well, anybody can sack Wike.
Wike, that is
Yeah, the Almighty, yes. Okay. Dr. Abati, Wike is sackable. But because, unfortunately, the insects eating the vegetable are well embedded within the vegetable, therefore, they follow.
One man used to come here to say that.
So that's the truth. So when they are serious, there are a few members who are very serious, very focused, but majority of the people, you know, you are dealing with principalities in politics. And the principalities, they know what it takes. You have to control the money. You have to control the judiciary. You have to control the legislature. In fact, you have to control the air that we breathe. Otherwise, how do you explain that rivers where there was no crisis, where nobody was firing a bullet, you declared a state of emergency there, and you have not declared in Borno, you have not declared in Sokoto, you have not declared in Niger, and all other places where you have very clear cases of violence going on. So, but Nigeria is a case of animal farm, George Orwell. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And it's a case of do as I say, not as I do. So this is what is going on today in Nigeria. Damagum or no Damagum, I'm not bothered. When they are ready, what Atiku is trying to do happened before. It happened in 2014 when some patriots came together and said, no, we must arrest this drift towards perfidy and let us rescue our nation. Whether eventually they were right or wrong is a different thing. Politics is a game of chance. They took the chance at the time. If Governor Okowa left PDP to go and join the coalition, nobody will complain, no. Nobody would have complained because they will know that. But he never told us the things that they saw in APC that suddenly became so fascinating and attractive and irresistible that they had to move. They should tell us. I'm tired of people saying it's for my people. Every politician is living for himself, primarily and substantially. The people get only the crumbs. So anytime I'm watching a leader and say, oh, the reason we took it in the overall interest of my people, they should stop scamming Nigerians.
Okay, let's talk about Atiku, because you made quite a point where you said he's a consummate Democrat, to quote you directly. And I want to link that to the issue of ideology, because fundamentally the ideology around the PDP always focused on representation, inclusivity, ensuring the North and South are represented in an equitable manner. But some might argue that Atiku has been a stumbling block to that. So it's interesting that you're calling him the consummate Democrat. I want to see, how do you reconcile that? Because some other PDP chieftains are saying that Atiku should go, just the same way Wike should go. Atiku should go as well because he's part of the problem. Why is it that his ambition should determine the direction of the party? That's what they're saying.
His ambition has never determined the direction of the party.
So it's okay for him to be a perennial presidential candidate.
It is the easiest, Vimbai. It is the easiest question for me to answer. PDP does not have problem with North-South. PDP fielded General Obasanjo 1999 to 2007. Thereafter, Yar'Adua came and unfortunately passed on while in power. And Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, a perfect gentleman, came on board to complete their first term. Then he contested his own. So that's 1 + 8 of Obasanjo, that's 9 years. After that, Jonathan did another 4 years. That was 13 years. Okay? And he completed that in 2015. So, and they still gave him a chance to contest again, which he lost to Buhari. So, had he won that election, PDP would have had Southerners for 17 years out of 24 years. None of you remembers. People try to confuse us by telling lies. So PDP, I don't know about APC or any other party, PDP does not have problem. People say it's supposed to be 8 years, not 8 years. In which constitution? And fortunately, Dr. Abati is a lawyer. He should come and tell us. It was the same wicked people complaining about North-South that brought the committee that threw our party primary open. That's why I was able to buy a form. I bought a form. Because at that time, Atiku had told them that if they will cede power to the Southeast, then it will make sense to him. But if it will still be a rotation between just a few zones, he would not support it. He wanted them to cede power to the Southeast. But because Wike had already disqualified himself by saying he's not an Igbo man, he says he's from South-South, he's not interested in Igbo or anything. So, and they succeeded in frustrating Peter Obi out of the party. So the course was clear for Nyesom Wike. There was nobody who had the capacity. You must give it to him. And I like to say it all the time. Damn good guy, you know, projects man. That's why we used to call him Mr. Project. But always angry. Now, why did they not pick him? The same man who is complaining about North-South was ready to be vice president. Let him come out and deny that he never planned to be vice president to Atiku.
Will coalition politics work this time around? 2 years to the next election.
I have a theory, and the theory is simple. That Tinubu can only be countered this time by a northerner. Any southerner telling you, I want to contest against Tinubu, is going to waste his time.
No, but Tinubu doesn't want to leave the position.
No.
He wants a second term.
And so that's what I'm telling you. So, and the PDP, we want him there. And the PDP or coalition or whatever you call them also want power. And the only way they can get power is to go by Isaac Newton's theory of actions and reactions are always equal and opposite. So they will come from the opposite direction. I can guarantee you that. Who will be the person? I don't know. If they attempt, I hear some Yoruba person says he wants to contest. He's a guy I like, a governor, Governor Seyi Makinde. But I know that at the end of the day, that cannot happen. It cannot happen. So what will then happen is that the North, who are the people, and when you look at, in fact, when I look at the configuration of Tinubu's cabinet today and all his appointments, you will see that, people will say, okay, he's appointing Yoruba people because he's a Yoruba man. But it's not even about Yoruba, it's about his own personal cronies. Most of them. Cronyism has crept into our politics, and the North is naturally aggrieved that, Oga, we thought we support you. Our man was the president. The man left, you started attacking him, as if forgetting that another election cycle will soon come. They were all abusing Buhari. So, definitely, the North will want to field their own candidate. And the way the Okowas are going about it, turning this thing into a southern affair, we made that mistake during June 12th. when we turned the national mandate of Abiola into a Yoruba mandate, it is the same error of judgment that I see Tinubu's people committing right now. The moment you start emphasizing that those who are decamping, because everybody decamping now, they are from the south. I'm sure maybe they will be able to coerce a few people in the north.
People have decamped from Kano.
Okay.
NNPP, led by Senator Smaila Kawu.
When my brother and friend, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso decamps, then I know.
Okay, Bob D, let's talk about your own politics. What is in it for you?
Nothing.
All this News Central today, channels tomorrow, Arise tomorrow. Some of our colleagues will say, what is Bob D looking for?
In his first television interview, the EFCC chairman was on Channels Television last night to give a scorecard on the fight against corruption. For obvious reasons, one issue many Nigerians wanted him to speak to was CBET and the accusation that the commission isn't doing enough to fish out such unscrupulous elements in a timely manner. His response is certainly not what many victims of CBET would like to hear. Watch.
The case of crypto bridge exchange, also known as CBET, is a peculiar case. Sure, you will recall that shortly before then, like probably 2-3 weeks before then, EFCC came out with a report and publication of about 58 names of companies, I think, that we have investigated. We have compiled records. We have filed charges against quite a number of them. As a matter of fact, before we released that publication, we have secured convictions against several of them. And so many of those cases are nearly being completed. So we published their names. 58 companies. Nigerians beware. Nigerians beware. Unfortunately, CBET was not captured in that report. And you know what? When the going is good, nobody makes noise. Nobody talks. But it is when the bubble bursts that EFCC is dragged into it. There is no way, we don't have any magic wand to start looking for cases where people have invested, whether it is right or wrong, whether this will lead to fraud or not. We don't have such a one. And so we wait most times until the bubble bursts. But the ones we are able to get intelligence on, that's part of the 58 that we have released. So this one, well, as fate may have it, some people got into it. They never told anybody when they were getting 100% on their deposit. When it was good, nobody reported to EFCC that this was quite suspicious. But when the bubble busted, EFCC was dragged into it. Yes, we have eagle eye, but our eagle eye will only capture what is within the range of our intelligence. What is outside that and what people don't report to us, we don't have any means of knowing.
Several weeks ago, former Adamawa North Senator Elisha Abo said former Senate President Ken Nnamani visited him after the appellate court judgment that sacked him as a senator and pleaded on behalf of a judge, suggesting there had been a miscarriage of justice in the ruling that led to his removal from the Senate. The former Senate President has since denied this allegation, but the Adamawa senator is having none of that.
This current government, they will be defeated before 9 a.m.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say so?
Because in northern Nigeria, for example, the governors will be struggling to save themselves. Okay. They will throw Aswaju under the boss, under a big boss safe, so they will not wake up. So the only thing that can save him is that election is taking place one day. So the governors will now be try to benefit from the vote of the other governors. But if he say that his own take place and then governors will take it, then he will be under the boss, he will be dragged. So it's better for him to even accept it. You mentioned my case. My case was a sheer robbery, and even the judge who knows, she knows what she did. She knows what she did, and I don't respect her because she knows what she did. Last time, I refused to join issues with my elder brother, my father, Senator Ken Nnamani, who said that he was surprised that I should lie. He used strong word that I should lie against him, that he never contacted me about any judge. It is a lie. He contacted me and he sent me text messages. What happened was this. There's no, my election is the election judgment delivered by that evil judge, Ihemengosu Jr. Justice Ihemengosu is an evil judge. It never happened, and she knows what she did. She wanted to go to the Supreme Court. So she wanted to use me to curry favor from the hand of politicians. That was why her name was under. That means her name was in the reserve list. So they brought down senior judges above her and elevated her so she can be made to go to the Supreme Court. She know what she did, and she know. Let she look for me, and I'm a senator, 2-time senator. So, and I know how I got to this place. Now, youth in this country, I represent the hope of any youth in politics. I won election without any go without anybody. And Nigerian youth say, if you can make it, we can. I mean, we can make it too. Now, what happened was that Nigerian youth, I didn't even know they were organizing. They wanted to picket the Supreme Court on the day of her swearing in. I don't know what they did. From Kano, from Sokoto, from Abuja, they already transported themselves with buses into the country, and they beat security. Somehow, some of them who came from the southeast now leaked it out that Nigerian youth wanted to go and picket the Supreme Court so that they will disrupt her swearing in. It will interest you to know that I am one of the people who fought for the Ministry of Youth to be created in this country. In February 2003, I was one of the few Nigerian youth who sat down and drafted the existing national youth policy. One of the document, February 2003, the national youth policy. We created that document. Now, Ministry for Youth was just a unit, not even a department. It was a unit. Today, it was under social development. Tomorrow, it's under youth. Tomorrow is under intergovernmental affairs. It was not even a correct directorate under a director. That is the Ministry for Youth. Until when Obasanjo was in power, under the leadership of Ben Dontuye, that time he was the president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, and I was special advisor to the president of the Youth Council of Nigeria. And we sat down during our ESCO meeting, and we said, let us agitate for the creation of the Ministry for Youth. And we met the president. The president was not in town. We met his vice president that time, Atiku Abubakar, and we had a meeting in the villa. And we said, Mr. President, we want to have a ministry for youth. We are not asking for too much. We have drafted the national youth policy, February this year. Now, August, we went to him and said, before International Youth Day, we want to have ministry for youth. And they gave us ministry for youth. So what they are enjoying today, I know some of them, they don't know how we fought for the Ministry for Youth to be created. So we created the Ministry for Youth. And we have a looter. We have youth. We have former youth leaders and former youth leaders who we still meet today. And are among the youth leaders, retired youth leaders, former youth leaders. So they met when they didn't tell me they were meeting. They met and they decided to go and block the Supreme Court. And information filtered to him and Ngosu that there's going to be a blockage. And she contacted Ken Inamani. I have it here on my phone. I can show you text messages from Ken Inamani, who called me and gave me his house number in Asokoro, in Aso Drive, that he should go and discuss. And he told me that, please, he first of all started saying it's not good for my image, it's not good for my future. I told him that, what is future? What is future? You remove me from the Senate. You said that my protesting youth protest is not good for my future. So it's good for her future to illegally go and give this stupid judgment. I thought, by the way, I'm not involved in the protest. And Ken Inamani begged me. He begged me. And I looked at him as the former Senate president, as a father. And I contacted the people who were going to... Don't forget, protesting is a right of every Nigerian. Freedom of gathering is a freedom granted to any Nigerian. To freedom to protest is a freedom of every Nigerian. So they have the right to protest even inside the villa. They have the right to protest at the Supreme Court. They have the right to protest in the National Assembly. They have the right to protest inside the government house. After all, it's our government house. It's our National Assembly belongs to the Nigerian people. It is the villa that belongs to the Nigerian people. It is our all common heritage. I had to go night, hotel to hotel. I virtually knelt down before the youth, before they stopped the protest, because I listened to Ken Inamani. So when he now said that, I regretted listening to him. And tomorrow maybe he will look for another favor from any other youth.
Now let's end with hot topic on The View on TVC.
My mom closed down her
Tokpe,
shop.
one of the ladies on The View, shared a story about how her mom practically closed down her shop
They're not letting her have children.
because one pastor told her that's the only way she was going to have a child. Watch.
So I was saying a story before we went on a break, and the story was about how I am in a community and people shared testimony in that community of having a challenge with an estate. And then they knelt down. They prayed for them. One even said, I took mantle. I prayed and I put held that kerchief and I took the mantle and put it on the land. And the land sold out. So I have an estate in Benin, my dear sister. At the point of my most expensive investment, I took it to Dr. Lumide 2 years ago. I prayed. They said they prayed. I sowed seed. They said they sowed seed. I did mantle, put it on the land. 1 plot till today. I never say. Am I saying other things? Yes. Sometimes we think that if I do exactly what this person does, we need to realize that each person's journey is different.
Yes.
And some challenges you will go through it to learn. It doesn't mean God is not listening to you and that God is going to hear that pastor more than he has heard you. Because there are other locations I did not even take a pastor to go and pray there. I did not even do ceremonial launch. We launch it, we sell, we sold out. So it means that there are different seasons we'll go through in life, because women are particularly vulnerable. We are the most vulnerable to, and maybe because we're very emotional and we're nurturing, so we tend to internalize things a lot. Women are the ones where maybe if you are above, at a certain age, you don't get married at a certain age, you will now have the story of somebody, a pastor can come and meet you. My mom closed down her shop. I did a video about it, but they not edited it for me. My mom closed her shop in Lagos Island because pastor told her that that's where they're not letting her have children. Like, you are not having children because of the people there. And she was, if she lives there, she will get pregnant. She left there, she did not carry Bele. But she left there. And that is the story of many people, where they will make sacrifices, sow seeds into commercial profits, and their life is, they lose, their life doesn't change. And they are feeling, at the end of the day, they just feel like everything is gone. So I'm obviously going to always ask people that, think God has given us this thing between our 2 ears. We must use it. Use it well. Don't think that somebody, I appreciate your intelligence, but I know that God also gave me intelligence. So if I take from you and take from you, I'll still process it to be sure it's okay for me.
We need to wrap